Peace and love, everybody. This is Ruby D, the Goddess Entrepreneur, and welcome to my first live read for the Goddess Grind book series, of which I am the author of. And for this video, we will be reading from the first book, The Goddess Grind. We grind with one eye open. And this book is the first book that I wrote. I wrote it in 2016, and then I published it at the end of 2016. But pretty much the first book is all about the chakras and how I utilize the chakras and balancing my chakras to become a better person. It helps me better in business and things of that nature. But basically what a live read is basically I'm going to take the book, read a few pages from the book for you, and then I give you information about why I wrote that section of the book, why it's included, and just give insight for that part of the book. In some cases, I'll have examples of exactly what I mean, or I may explain it just a little bit more. But the goal with the live reads is to, like I said, be able to provide more information about the book and how it applies to real life and how it can be used for real life situations, and to also have like a more intimate experience with the book instead of you just reading it and that be it. So let's see, I'll actually just start from the beginning and I will read the welcome of the book. So the welcome is not long. It's from here to here where it says understanding. So we'll start there and then I'll just basically just elaborate on it. Welcome. Starting my first business at the age of 25, I am not new to the world of entrepreneurship. What is an entrepreneurial spirit? Spirit, the never-ending desire to have your own successful business or businesses, own your time, and not ever giving up on achieving that goal. At that age, I didn't have a mentor or anyone to teach me the ropes of owning a business or running a business. And over the years, I've learned from trial and error. I've deciphered what works best for me and what doesn't. My purpose is to guide others like myself on a successful path of entrepreneurship using the power within themselves and the power of manifestation. Me, when I was a 25-year-old, compared to who I am now, a 36-year-old business owner, are two completely different individuals, and I've seen the difference that taking a non traditional approach can make. Acquiring knowledge of self was the beginning of an incredible journey to self discovery, as well as learning how to tap into the power I possess within. We all believe we know ourselves because we've been ourselves our whole life. But do we really look at ourselves in the mirror? From a careful inner to outer observation and dissection, to know all the light and dark places of who you are, while being able to find the good and purpose in both, to ultimately become the greatest versions of ourselves. To not blame anything outside of our own being for our own shortcomings and mistakes, and not just taking credit for accomplishments and victories. To be fully responsible and held accountable for who and what we are, what we stand for, and all our actions. You can't do this fully and completely without having knowledge of self. My goal is to be a guide in helping others to understand the power they possess when they fully allow themselves to feel and simply just be, without feeling indifferent towards themselves. You need to know you are good and bad, strong and weak, beautiful and ugly, intelligent and ignorant, light and dark, the solution and the problem. We must embrace both because we all need balance, and balance is key. Knowledge of self, coupled with the advantages of balancing the seven chakras, allows one to manifest their desired outcomes, not only for their personal life, but also their professional life. We must fully understand how the chakras work and what they are. To completely benefit from your powers, you must understand and embrace the chakras and aligning them. To align your chakras, you must ensure that they are all open. I will explain what each chakra is, the effects, healing, suggestions, and what happens when it is balanced. I will then explain how each can be used to manifest in your professional life. Also, learning and understanding when they are not balanced and suggestions on getting them back aligned. So that was the welcome section from my first book, The Goddess Grind. We grind with one eye open. And pretty much to elaborate, first thing, now keep in mind I wrote this book back in 2000, early 2016. Latter part of 2015 is probably when I started it. And now I'm 40. I will be 41 in November, this is now July 2021, and I will be 41 in November of this year. So it's basically my 5-year anniversary of writing this book. Oh my gosh. It's just now dawning on me that it's been 5 years, but it's been 5 years. But that was the first thing I wanted to point out. And pretty much, like I said, me when I was 25 versus me now, or even when I wrote the book, business ownership and entrepreneurship are completely different. My outlook is completely different. I still have the same work ethic as far as being passionate about what I do, and everything that I'm doing is a representation or an extension of me and who I am and who I am growing and evolving to be. So pretty much that part of it is still the same, but it's just now I am more in tune with myself, and I am even more confident than I was. I've always been confident. That's never been a no for me. I mean, I've always had confidence. I've always had a very high level of self-awareness and everything. So even more so now, I'm more confident in that. Um, acquiring knowledge of self. Pretty much for me, knowledge of self was really I already like spending time with myself because I am an introvert. In certain situations I can be an extrovert. I'm both, but primarily I'm an introvert, so I already spend a lot of time with myself, and I've always done that. And I came to the point where I was completely okay with who I was, what I had been through, and not allowing other people to, one, try and use that against me or hold that against me, and an attempt to keep me from manifesting the life I want, of becoming successful or starting a business or pretty much doing anything that I felt like I wanted to do because I felt like I would be good at it. I was never, and I'm still not, a person that's afraid to try things or, attempt things, because even if it doesn't work out, I learned something. So, it never got to me where people, would say, oh, you're a failure. You didn't do this right, or you didn't do as well as I expected you to do. But, for me, I was always like, it has nothing to do with anybody else. It was all about me. And just because I didn't meet your expectations does not mean that I'm a failure. It does not mean that I didn't achieve what I felt like I needed to do, or I didn't get out of this experience what I needed to get out of it. So, me being able to fully accept who I am, not limiting myself, not telling myself I can't do something, as opposed to I don't want to do it. Because there's been a lot of that where I'm like, it's not the fact that I can't do it. I just don't want to do it. It's not a desire for me to do it. And let me see. I'm just making sure I go in depth where I feel I need to. Um, let me see. So I did say to not blame anything outside of our own being for our own shortcomings and mistakes, and not just taking credit for accomplishing victories. Okay, so for that part of the, well, for that sentence, to not blame anything outside of our being for our own shortcomings and mistakes, and not just taking credit for the accomplishments and victories. Pretty much, what I mean is that whether what I do is good or bad, whoever is looking at it, it's still me. It's still all me. I don't look outside of myself. Um, if something goes wrong, I don't blame entities or anything outside of me. When something goes right, I don't give the credit to, anybody or any person outside of me. Basically, when it comes down to it, I did, so I should get the credit or I should get the blame, if you want to use that word. But I have no problem with taking fault for anything that I should be faulted for. I don't say, "Ooh, it was the devil," or "Ooh, it was this," or "Ooh, it was that." No, I'm fully okay with taking full responsibility for anything that I do or any decisions that I make. And I have do the same for accomplishments that I make. Take full responsibility for that as well, and accountability. And me being able to look at myself realistically and know that it was all me, it reinforces the idea that I do have control. I have control of me, my feelings, my emotions, and whatever it is I decide to do. If something doesn't work out exactly how I thought it would work out, I'm not going to blame somebody else for that. And if something works out really good and goes exceptionally well, of course I'm going to take credit for it. I'm going to take credit for it no matter what it is. And being able to do that has helped me to become such a strong individual and a very well spoken individual, especially when it comes to my business, what I want, what I don't want, people I want to work with, people I don't want to work with. Because you have to be confident in yourself. You have to be confident in your decisions. You have to be confident in your decision making process. You have to be confident in everything that you do when it comes to your personal life as well as your professional life. So, pretty much that's it. I mean, for that part of it, just, the welcome to the book and to the book series that's pretty much where I am. And it's not like, this is going to be some sugar coated, fluffy type stuff. That's not what this is. I'm just being as straight and direct as I possibly can, taking out all of the fluff. It is not meant to be degrading. It's not meant to be demeaning or anything like that. But it's just, I wrote the book in a way where it seems like we're having a conversation, just like we're having a conversation now, or uh, somewhat of a conversation. And it's just like, no, this is the information that I'm giving you. You can take what you need, whatever you don't need, whatever you feel does not apply, you can leave it. And then, yeah, and pretty much it moves into the next section of the book. But I don't want to make these live reads too long or these videos of the live read too long, because I don't want to make it seem like it's really involved or there's a lot of stuff that you have to take in. But no, these videos are going to be anywhere from 10 to 16, maybe 15 minutes long. As long as I share the information and get it out, that's it. And if you don't have the book, you can go online to purchase it at www.thegoddessgrind.com. You can get the paperback, you can get the ebook or the PDF download. Either way, same book, you get the information. And If you have any questions about that section of the book or any part of the book, or if you would like for me to cover a specific area of the book or one of the other books, then just let me know and I'll be sure to cover that as we go through the books. Now, in the series, there are 4 books, and I'll only be reading a couple of pages at each time. I'm not going to read it in order. I'm going to go from one to, just different places wherever I feel led to do. And that's it. That's how we're going to rock this out. That's what we're going to do. And if you feel this is beneficial for somebody, please share it. And I thank you. I am Ruby D, the Goddess Entrepreneur, the author of the Goddess Grind book series. And if you have any questions, just let me know. I'll see you next time. Peace and love.